YouTube, what's up? I am back with another video of some awesome stuff. Two boxes today. You saw the last video, the Fast and Furious set, which was part of that was actually a trade. I'm showing you these because I have to tell you, in making this layout, these have become invaluable to me. They are great for painting, gluing. If you have to do a glue mixture, or if you want to make a wash, or if you just want to use it as a palette. So I have gotten to the point now where I keep all of these because I use all of them. And they don't take up a lot of space. They're obviously very cheap, and they work very well. Every now and then you'll have one that might leak a little bit, so you just double stack it and then you're good to go. But I blew through a ton of these for this layout. Now, the ones I prefer are the Auto World, because they're larger and you can do a lot more with it. But the smaller ones are nice, the Hot Wheels ones. If you just have a little job and you're not going to be using a lot of paint, those are great. So, just a little trick, I guess, little advice if you plan on doing a layout. I still have a lot to do on this one, so just know as I show cars on it right now, it is incomplete. So anyways, two boxes today. I'm going to show everything together, but I'll explain what I got from who. So this is an Earl Ford tractor, and it's very, very nice. It's probably 1/55 scale. It's definitely not. It might be 1/32, or maybe 1/43. But what it's not is 1/64. It's too big for 1/64. But it's a really cool piece. It's mostly all metal. It does have the pistons there. It's full articulation. The bucket articulates. So, very cool tractor. Added into the collection. All right, so I'm going to start with the basic stuff. We have a lot of it here. So, from Andrew Jaremko, I got this Johnny Lightning Pontiac Firebird. It actually looks a lot like the Auto World, in my opinion. When you start looking at it closely, you can definitely tell the difference. That's a pretty cool casting there. This thing is awesome. I've never seen one of these before. I've seen a play art, but never seen a Xiaomex Hong Kong P302. Suspension. Thing rolls amazing, especially considering its condition, because this car was very loved. It is a left-hand drive, and it's actually a very nice casting. It's one of the better toolings that I've seen of this car, especially for like the more basic price points. I mean, that's that's nicer, in my opinion, nicer than the Hot Wheels, nicer than the Matchbox, which that's not saying much. The Matchbox was pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, it's just old and beat up. But speaking of the Hot Wheels, they did make drastic improvements with this tooling. But with that said, this is the Fuguzi body, which is very different with the fender flares and the swooping spoiler. But for like stock castings, I like this better than any of the other Hot Wheels castings. So, pretty cool. I have to say though, disclaimer, you know, as I make that comment, I have not seen the Tomica Premium, but the pictures that I've seen of it are very nice. So I got two of these today. I got one from Andrew Jaremko and one from Towhookscline on Instagram. He sent, both of them were on card, but the one from Towhookscline, the card was cut. So I went ahead and cracked that one, and now I have one loose and one on card. Also from Andrew Jaremko, I got this Majorette Chevy El Camino, and it, for as old as it is, it's in excellent condition. With Majorette, you get suspension, you get the little tow hook, opening doors. Very cool car. Very, I don't know how to describe that color, but the camera's not really pulling it out. That's like a neon color in person. So this is from the same series as that, as this. This is the BMW. I love these wheels on these cars. My favorite part of this release is the wheels. It's just an awesome looking car. Looks really good for a dollar price point. I know those might have been a couple dollars, but here's the recolor of this CRX. This looks killer. I loved the red one. I love this one more. And I think it's because of these wheels. These real thin 5-spokes with the copper color, with the black paint. It just pops. Looks so good. And I love the fact, and something that's worth mentioning, is that they brought the recolor out in another civilian deco. So the first JDM casting that Hot Wheels brought out in the main line when I started collecting was the 180SX Nissan. And that first release was a very nice civilian deco, and then it's been released probably 4 or 5 times since then with nothing but stupid graphics. The Advan graphics were okay, but the Hot Wheels ones were pretty awful. And I think there was a couple others, but the only ones that I care to own is the stock deco. And so I wish that when they bring cars out like that, or new castings out, that they would do it twice before they do the Hot Wheels graphics and all the racing graphics. Give us 2 stock decos. And they've done it with the R33s. They did it with the R30s. They did it with the RX-7s. Well, maybe they didn't with those. But the second, third releases of those were close enough to stock. But if you're not going to do it on the second release, at least mix one in or alternate it. You know, do 1 civilian, 1 racing, 1 civilian, 1 racing. But this looks killer for $1. Love that car. And that one was from Towhookscline. All 3 of these were also from Towhookscline. In fact, I think the rest of this might be all from him, because Jaremko sent me all of these except for the CRX. Alright, so this Toyota truck, awesome. I think I might have it, but I'm not sure. But even if I do, you can never have enough of these. You never know when you got a buddy who does awesome customs is going to say, hey, let me customize that for you. And I love this tooling. I would love to see it in a two-wheel drive lowered stance. And then, of course, these Silverados. So this is, I think, from the same series as the BMW and that Nissan Z. But the difference is the wheels, first of all. And something I didn't realize about this, it has the forward seats, but it also has a metal base. And so this one is going to be hoarded for that reason, because what people will do, I know tons of guys that collect 2 of every Silverado, and what they do is they do one lifted and one lowered. And so to do that, you need a lot of metal bases of the lowered one and a lot of metal bases for the lifted one. The lifted one has only been released twice, both times on lifted bases. Those trucks are pretty expensive to get now. But these 83 Silverado collectors are die-hard. Like, all the guys I know have 2 of the green RLC one, and they drilled one of them to put a lowered base on it, or to put a lifted base on it. So, pretty crazy stuff. So I know for that reason this one will be hoarded. Really cool truck. It's the only metal base that I have. The only other castings that had metal bases that were lowered, not counting RLC releases, was the Valentine's Day release and the Modern Classics release. And the what was it? The Hot Ones. I think those are the only 3. There might be one more that I'm missing, but there aren't very many. So really cool to see this released with a metal base. And then this one here, I actually like this one better, although this one does have a plastic base. I just like the color and the deco on it better. See, this one has the seats back. I'm not sure what it is that determines which way they do it. You know, both of these trucks are, I think, a year apart from each other, so they're not like, you know, it's not like they changed the interior, but these seats are at the back of the cab and these seats are up forward. So not sure what determines that, but anyways, I have this one on card, so it's pretty awesome to get a nice loose one. So that's the basic stuff. Also, from Andrew, or no, this stuff's from Towhookscline. Here's some other stuff that I'm not sure what I'm going to do with yet. I've already got a couple of these. I don't have these, so these will be opened. They'll go into my Toyota collection. I've got a couple of these, but you can never have too many of those. And then, of course, that one right there. So all of those. And then I got, I can find it here. This Matchbox GMC. Seems to be a pretty old release. I would say late 70s, early 80s. If any of you have any information on it, I wouldn't mind hearing about it. But here's the base. I guess early 80s would be more accurate. Metal body, metal base, 1/64 scale. Copyright 1981. GMC open back truck. I think that's what that says. If I'm wrong about that, please let me know, because it's hard to tell. I can't really say with certainty that that's what that says. I really want it to be a Toyota, because this would be a killer Toyota to put into the collection. It's in very nice condition. Very, very cool. Plastic, oh, that is metal, isn't it? Part of the base. Almost looked like that was a plastic grill. Very cool truck. I like it. Just some awesome stuff. All right, now I'm going to get to the crazy stuff. One other thing from Andrew Jaremko, he sent me this, which I'm very happy and grateful that he sent me this, because I don't have very many of these. And I love getting it with chrome wheels, because most of the time when Greenlight brings this car out, it has black wheels. So awesome to get chrome wheels with that. All right, now we get to the good stuff. Not that this stuff isn't good, but we get to the more premium stuff. So this is all extra that Andrew Jaremko sent. Or not Andrew, God, I keep confusing. So the rest of the stuff is extras that Towhookscline sent with the trade box. None of this is part of the trade. It's all extra random act of kindness. So he sent this, Release 1, Cadillac Coupe Deville. I think it's a 1976. Black with the white top. I've already got it, but I'm happy to keep one on card. And that may end up going to my son. I'm not sure. So whenever I crack a box open and I see a bunch of Auto World, I get very excited about that. So we're going to look at some of that. The last car, before we look at the Auto World stuff, he sent me this Tomica Toyota Landcruiser. Now, I've already received one of these from Champion DJK. So when I got this, I thought, okay, this one looks like it's in really good condition. It's probably in better condition than the one I got from Champion DJK. So I went and checked, and I actually think the other one is a little bit better. However, this one is still very, very nice. So I have two really nice examples of this casting. Both of them have the grill. So I'm actually thinking about taking the grill out of this and putting it in an older one that I have. But before I do that, I want to make sure it's the right grill. I don't know if there are variations of that. But very, very awesome to have two of these. I love Tomica. I love Toyota. It just can't go wrong. All right. So, from Towhookscline as extras, these were all mint on the card except one. And I cracked them open, but we'll start with this Pontiac Firebird. I think it's a 1969. And this, it's like a forest green color with the black vinyl top and the tan interior. It's a killer colorway. It really does look good. The wheel choice isn't the best, but it's not the worst. I would much rather have the torque thrust wheels on this car. I don't know that we've seen this car released with those wheels. But this car looks pretty much incredible with the amount of detail. And that's why I just love Auto World. I don't ever see them for sale, so I can't buy them. And they're so expensive to get on eBay. You know, they don't seem to be Greenlight prices. But they're also much lower production than Greenlight. Excellent rolling car. Those taillights look so good. All of that is painted detail. That's what I love the most about Auto World, is it's all painted detail. I love lens headlights and taillights, but I would almost, in some cases, rather have this. I know, like with M2 and green light, I'd rather have this because then you don't have to worry about stuff falling out. But the detail on this is so killer. Little Firebird on the rear quarter panel. You can see that metal flake in the paint. That just looks so good. Stance looks a little high. Other than that, it's a high scoring casting. Okay, this is the only one that wasn't mint on the card, but it did come with the box. And I don't have this. Or maybe this is the one I have. No, I don't think it is. I think I have the exclusive, but this is a Gulf Ford GT40. I don't think this is the one that I have. I have the Miho exclusive, and I think this is the regular release. I'll double check, but I don't care if it is the one I have. You know, with Auto World, you can never have too many. This is a killer casting. A rare premium detailed car with staggered wheels. I don't mind it with this car though, because that's how the car was. But sometimes I do question the scale and proportions of this car. I still like it a lot though. Excellent detail. And this is one of only a few castings from Auto World that has lensed headlights. Although they could use some work. Still very nice though. Now for the big dogs. I don't have either one of these. 1976 Cadillac Coupe Deville. This is a very, very, very nice looking deco. It's like a titanium white color with almost an orangish burgundy color vinyl top. Look at the back seat in that thing. Just look how plush that looks. And then you've got that dash that just screams late 1970s. The wheels on this car aren't great, but they're actually pretty decent looking for the spoked hubcaps. I mean, that trunk just looks, it just looks awesome. The amount of detail that's in this casting. And I've got quite a few of these. In fact, I think I have all of them, except for the Toys R Us cars, which I've traded. But just looks amazing. And then this last one is something a little different. It's the 1976 Cadillac Coupe Deville d'Elegance. D'Elegance. And it's the version, so version A, version B, I don't know which is which, but this is a little bit different because it's the d'Elegance package, which was just a nicer trim, more plush pillow seats. I'm sure the seat interior molding is the same. Probably not going to see any differences there, but that was a big part of the d'Elegance. But I love this black with the red pinstriping, the gloss black with the vinyl top there, and then the white wall tires with the yellow pinstripe. That is so authentic to that era. It just looks so killer. So that leaves one last car, and we're going to get this video done inside of a half hour. This is a Kyosho Beads collection. Such an awesome car. I can't believe this was sent to me as a RAOK. So the here's the case that this came in. Kyosho Beads Collection. Zent Tsurumo SC Test Car 2006. I have no idea what any of that is. But what I do know is that it looks a lot like a Lexus. It says Toyota there on the door. And it has a Lexus grille. So it is some kind of a Lexus, which is great for the Toyota collection. The side view mirrors look on point. The antenna looks on point. All of the graphics look high resolution. Very, very nice looking. Yokohama, Super GT, Fujitsu. What else do we got? Advan. Great looking lensed headlights. Spoiler. That spoiler looks awesome. Then you've got the Yokohama Toyota rear window. And let's take a look at the back. Translucent lensed insert brake tail or brake lights. Let's see if we can get them in the light. Very happy to get this. That's a hell of a box. I can't thank you guys enough. My subscribers are among the most generous people in the hobby. The amount of packages that I've received just out of pure generosity is it's mind-blowing, actually, is what it is. And I know a lot of you guys, you know, Chris Lewis, there's a couple of Chris's. I know Chris Lewis is one. I can't think of the other one's last name. But Andrew Jaremko has sent half dozen boxes at least. You know, now Dicastrum, that box is like, that's like an epic. That box will never be topped. Never, that box, I will never get a better box of diecast, nor should I expect to. That was unbelievable to get that. It's always unbelievable to get a box, regardless of what's in it. So, to all you guys that have sent me boxes of diecast, just out of pure randomness, thank you very much. I am very grateful. And I'm very grateful that I have the support on this channel. So, all right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Have a great Tuesday. I'll keep you all posted on this layout. As I mentioned in the last video, I'm going to scrap this building and make a building for that lot. Probably going to move this building back there and build a new building for this spot. And then at some point down the road, I'm going to build a new house and do away with this one. But before any of that happens, I'm going to string the telephone lines. I'm going to build a fence for the house. I'm going to make the trees and plant the trees. I will put some water in the drainage ditch. I'll get the stop signs in, all the little details glued down. And then once all of that's done, then I'll get back to the buildings. But I think for right now, I'm just going to stick with this. But with art, one thing I've realized when I get artistic is if those creative juices start flowing, then I just put my hands in motion, and it really, like, I really don't have a choice when it happens. It just, it happens on its own. But I have to do it, or else nothing will come out of it. Because if I wait till the next day and those creative juices aren't flowing, then I start getting these kinds of crappy results. Like, I think this building looks respectable. This building, I think, looks respectable. Obviously, they need some touching up. I'd like to get some decals for the windows, like, you know, like those window marker sale or whatever, that type of stuff. But I do want it all to be handmade when it's all done, so that I can at least look at it and say I made that in its entirety. And the only exception will be the accessories and the telephone poles. So anyways, thanks again, everybody. Andrew and Towhookscline, I don't know your name, but thank you very much. And everybody else that has helped support the channel and sent boxes. And while I'm at it, I have to say thank you again to Dicastrum, because I still can't get over that box. That box was just unbelievable. So, and you guys all have a good week. I'll talk to you at the next diecast video.